And welcome back to another episode of Pokemon Knowledge. On today's episode, this is going to be a fun little thing I did. What I'm going to do is in today's video, I'm just going to show you a couple different Pokemon items. It could be sealed product, it could be individual cards, it can be whatever. And all I'm going to do on this video is I'm going to show the card and I'm going to tell you if I'm buying that card, if I'm holding that card, or if I'm selling that card. And what do I mean by that? Buy, sell, hold. So really what I mean is I'm buying that card right now if I think it's undervalued and that it's possibly like a good pickup. But I'm holding that card if I think maybe the market is undervaluing that card in particular, and then I'm selling that card or product if I think that the market is actually overvaluing that card. So as we get along and I start showing cards, hopefully you'll be able to pick up what I'm trying to do pretty quick. Again, real quick. Holding that card means I think it's undervalued. Buying that card also means, or holding it means I think the market's undervaluing that card. And then if I'm buying it, I think it's super undervalued and then selling. So this will be fun. We'll see how this goes. And it's not going to be a long video, probably be a relatively short video. Probably going to try to keep this like under 40 minutes. And hopefully the chat's able to join along with this. And we'll get right into this. So first things first is we're going to pull up the PowerPoint slide. I'm going to share my screen. All right. So this should hopefully work. All right. So we'll get right into this. First card, am I buying, selling, or holding? Is pretty simple. It's a Reshiram, Zekrom. These are not the celebration reprints. These are the actual cards. And for these two cards, I like them both. You know, especially when you talk about history Pokemon, stuff like that. These cards are very special in the sense that they're the first ever full art cards. Black and White was the first to ever do that. And this Reshiram, the Zekrom card right now in the market dictates that. So for these two cards, I'm definitely holding these cards. See, and the reason why I'm holding these cards is because I think right now, I think the market is actually undervaluing these cards. I think for what they are, the prices they're selling at, it's just not worth it to sell. But they're actually like not so cheap that I'm willing to just pick up a lot of them. But this is a card I definitely like to have a little position in. So I'm definitely holding this card. And let me know in the chat if you guys are holding, selling, or if you're buying any of these cards. So the next product, sell, buy, hold, is the Double Crisis blisters. Now, if you aren't familiar with these sets, there's like the Kyogre EX full art. It's like a specialty set. It's not really like a set that a lot of people talk about. And really, this is like the only product you could pick this up at. And each of these blisters comes with 4 packs. And for something like this, I'm buying this. I think this is a good buy. You know, there's actually like not a ton of value, but if you pull those EX cards like and you grade them and you get a decent grade, it's actually pretty good value in comparison to the sealed product. And really, this being such a niche item, I think this is one of those long-term plays. So I'm definitely buying this product, and that's in my opinion. So next one is we got Team Aqua versus Team Magma. We got an art set of blister packs. Now, this is another one of those sets that a lot of people don't talk about. Team Aqua versus Team Magma. I think there is a subset of collectors that are really going to start liking these blister packs. I think they have like huge growth potential to them because again, we've talked about this before in other videos. Some people say you can weigh blister packs. I personally say you can't. The amount of people sitting on, you know, a bunch of these blister packs and have the true ability to weigh them out is very low. I mean, to my knowledge, I don't really know of anybody that's sitting on sealed displays of these right now, with maybe the exception of Cool Train Ryan and whoever the few people out there might have like the, sealed displays of these, but very rare. So for a product like this, I'm holding it because I think for what they are for the set, I think I don't think they're great buys at the prices they're selling at right now, but I think they're also undervalued. So I'm not selling this right now. This is a product that I like this product. I like the fundamentals of this product being a rare set, coming out of that EX timeline, being undervalued, being an underrated set, like the art value that is blisters. I'm just holding it. I'm not buying it. I'm not selling it. I'm just holding. I'm just waiting for the market to appreciate these for what these are, appreciate the set for what it is. And this one, if you guys know me, if you know my channel, I think you already know if this is a buy or if this is a sell or if this is a hold for me. So you got the Rocket Zapdos from EX Team Rocket's Returns. I think EX Team Rocket Returns is one of the best, if not the best EX set ever. Beautiful artwork, beautiful Pokemon. And if Josh the Green Shiz is out there watching this, shout out to you. Zapdos is his favorite Pokemon. This card, all day, every day, I'm buying this. For what EX Team Rocket is, especially for what packs are selling for, especially what booster boxes are selling for. And yes, a lot of the value for that sealed product is definitely in the gold stars because you do have the Torchic, the Mudkip, and the Treecko, but these EX cards are still hits for that. And for what some of these cards sell for raw, especially in a set that is so extremely expensive to pick up sealed, for me, this is a buy all day. And this isn't a card you're going to come across every single day. So the prices they're selling for, this is a buy for me. When you start to get into like the graded prices, it starts to get a little dicey, but in the raw version, yeah, this is definitely a buy for me. So people are asking where are the prices. There's no prices for this. This is just how I'm looking at the cards, how I'm looking at the market. Prices could, fluctuate for all this stuff. The next is just Jungle Unlimited Holos, not first edition, just unlimited. The second set of Pokemon ever came out with. You got base set, you got Jungle, then you got Fossil. This is a 99 set. A lot of call it rookie cards or first appearance cards or whatever you want to call for a lot of Pokemon are in this set. It's a huge fan favorite. But the problem is there's a lot of this stuff. So for the unlimited especially, I'm selling unlimited cards, I think. And the reason I'm selling stuff is when I look at selling stuff, I say, do I have the chance to pick this product up in the future? If the answer is no to that question, I'm usually less inclined to sell. But if the answer to a product like unlimited Jungle Holos, do I feel that I'll have plenty of opportunities in the future to pick up Jungle Holos from now and literally to the end of Pokemon? My answer to that is yes. I don't think the supply of Jungle Unlimiteds will ever run out. And so this is something I'm selling right now. And I think the market is probably overvaluing these in comparison to the lack of rarity these really have. But they do have the old they're going for, older minter rare better. It's got the old they're going for it, but it's not rarer, that's for sure. So this is a sell for me. Next card we got is just full art trainer, Pokemon Center Lady from XY Flashfire. When I look at sets, as what do the sets have going for it? Why are people paying a premium for the sealed product? And Flashfire is pretty obvious. The big chase cards in that set are Charizards, and everyone knows that. But the thing is people are starting to really go after some of the full art trainers, and not just from Sword and Shield, but Sun and Moon and XY too. XY has some pretty slept on trainers in comparison to the rest of the market. So for a product like this, I'm going to buy. I think that there's just some real obvious plays. And like a card like this, when you talk about XY Flashfire, you don't talk about full art trainers in it. Flashfire again is Charizard. So whenever I look at a set, I'm always trying to look at the cards within the set that nobody else are really looking at this point. And this is one of those cards. Yeah. The image I managed to find online shows like one of the more beat up cards. So I would definitely recommend you try to find this card in, maybe a little cleaner condition than the photo I have up. But, Flashfire packs for a super modern set, and pretty much all XY sets are still considered modern. You're talking $50 to $60 for a sealed pack. And if you pull a full art trainer, that's still considered a hit for what this card's selling for. Yeah, for me, it's a buy. Now, again, I like my little specialty sets, and Dragon Vault is just that. And when you think about Dragon Vault, when you think about a specialty set, Dragon Vault doesn't really have any chase cards to it. It's a pretty lackluster set. Honestly, probably one of the chase cards of this is that Rayquaza you're looking at. That is the promo on this 3-pack blister. So this is a sealed product play. This is not a let's buy it and hope the singles go up in the future type play. This is the definition of a sealed product play. But for this, I'm buying it because it's a slept on set. Yeah, there's only 5 cards per pack, but I think the prices of these Dragon Ball 3-pack blisters are probably increased pretty substantially recently. But when I look at something like Dragon Majesty, which there's an absolute ton of something like that, and you could have Dragon Majesty packs selling for $30 to $35 a piece for the single packs. There's no reason why Dragon Vault packs shouldn't be valued at the same for that 30 to 35 just based on like the rarity of it. Now, do I think these 3-pack blisters have probably creeped up a little bit? Yes, maybe. But, if you could pick these up for like, I don't know, 100 to 120 price range, like I think that's a buy. I could be wrong with that price. I have a feeling like there could be some high prices for this. So obviously, the troll of sets, Black and White Emergent Powers booster box. I want to know out there for you guys. It's a Black and White Emergent Powers booster box for you. A buy, a sell, or a hold. Because this booster box right now, for what it is extremely expensive. It's about as expensive as you can get for a booster box that has no value inside of it. The value inside this booster box, if you were to crack it, and even if you hit like the Tornadus like full art card, if you even got lucky and you hit that, you're still probably looking at a total market price of like $100 for everything in this booster box. So maybe my answer for this might surprise you a little bit, because my answer is, for me, this is actually a hold. Yeah, I know that sounds absolutely crazy, but Black and White booster boxes, I've come to find out that I thought there was a lot of them, and I thought a lot of people were sitting on a ton of Black and White booster boxes, and Emergent Powers would probably be that perfect example for me, that if there's people out there sitting on Emergent Powers prices creeped up high enough that it should have shook them all out. And it doesn't appear that these were shooken out of people's collections. So it just means to me that they're probably a lot rarer than we originally ever thought something like this could be. Now, this is for the booster box. That means I'm looking at this as a sealed product play as a whole, but I am definitely not a buyer of this. But I am holding this if I have it, because I think it would just, I don't think prices for something like this are just going to crash, even though it is an absolutely terrible product, just because I think there are so many sealed product collectors out there that the fundamentals behind a product like this is so skewed from the actual price of something like this. So yeah, maybe that's actually a little bit of a surprise for you. And I'm not selling this because I will never own this again. The second I sell a Black and White Emergent booster box, I promise you, I will never be buying that again, so it'll be gone forever. But I think you can see prices just increase organically because of people doing just what I said earlier, making their sealed product collection, and no other reason will this have value. So you can't have a buy, sell, hold video without the most obvious of all cards, right? And that is the Charizard first edition in PSA 10. You know, you can make a play, or at least you can make it the argument that if there was going to be one set card in all of Pokemon to break the $1 million mark, this Charizard would have to be the number one option if you were going to have that conversation. Again, this card selling right now at like $250,000, that is a long, long ways away from $1 million. But if there was one card that could ever do that, it's definitely this Charizard. Yes, obviously we have like the Illustrator Pikachu and super high-end trophy cards that are going to crack that $1 million. That's not what I said. I said set cards. And if there's going to be a set card that eventually in the future breaks $1 million mark, it's this. And if you want to say that there is a future to the Pokemon and everything that Pokemon could do in the future, because you could, if you want to do the comparison, the sports, and you look at the Mickey Mantle card sold for $12.5 million, like an absolutely crazy amount, and you believe in the true growth of Pokemon, meaning you believe as Pokemon as being an investment and that people are going to want it in the future and people are going to have more money in the future. This Charizard, to have that at least a conversation of it someday being $1 million card, is not the craziest possible conversation you could have in this hobby. But even with all that said, I'm selling this card. I'm always selling Charizard first editions, even with everything I said. And I'm, at the end of the day, one of the most bearish, or excuse me, the most bullish people when it comes to Pokemon. I believe in the future and the growth of Pokemon. But this card in a 10 for the prices it's selling at right now, in comparison to all other cards in this set at the same grade, even on the highest ends of grades, you could talk about maybe the Blastoise is number 2, Venusaur is a close 3, but Blastoise really stands apart and is number 2. And on the most high end of sales for Blastoid PSA 10s, you're seeing like between $30,000 to $40,000. So the price disparity between this card at $250 and a Blastoise at $40, I don't care that it's a Charizard. This card, for where we're at in the market at the current time, this card has always been, and probably forever will be, overvalued. So for that reason, I'm selling this card. And I think with the $240,000 that I could sell this card for, there are way more plays that I can make in the hobby than hoping this card someday reaches $1 million. So for that reason, I'm selling this card. Next, Mewtwo Gold Star. Hollow Phantoms, fantastic set. Mewtwo being one of the best Gold Stars. There's a couple Gold Stars you can talk about. I mean, just this set alone has the Mewtwo, has Pikachu, has Gyarados. Or if you can, look at the highest end of Gold Stars, when you have that conversation, Mewtwo is always up there. It's definitely never people's probably number 1, number 2, number 3, but it's up there. It's in the conversation of one of the best Gold Stars, and especially when you talk about fan favorite Gold Stars. But even with that said, for this Mewtwo Gold Star, this might surprise some people, but I'm actually selling this card. And the reason why I'm selling the Mewtwo Gold Star is because a lot of the prices for Gold Stars have already been realized. Gold Stars, for what they are definitely rare. Prices are extremely high, but nobody's sleeping on Gold Stars anymore. So for me, Gold Stars are a sell. That doesn't mean I'm not going to hold on to some Gold Stars personally, but looking at it, if I had to buy, sell, hold this card today, I would think that this is a sell, just because I think a lot of the realized price for a card like this have already been obtained, or at least already been realized for a card like this. So that's why I'm selling this card. We got to go with super modern stuff, right? Stonks to the moon. Pokemon trading card game. Trick or Trade booster bundle. You could probably pick it up at your local Target or your Walmart or Dollar General or Kohl's or grocery store or your CVS or your Walmart or pretty much any store that sells any kind of candy. You could probably pick this up at right now. I would say you could put these in the same category as like McDonald's cards. Tons of hype, tons of FOMO into these. People probably going into Walmarts and buying out entire displays, stuff like that. So you would think that for me, this would be a sell, but it's not. This is a hold for me. Why? Because it's 40 cents a pack. Yeah. They're 3-card packs, not original artwork. Yes, there is an original Pikachu little stamp on it. But I think in the future, you will be pretty shocked at what these packs sell for, like individual and lots. Now, is this booster bundle ever going to probably go to $100? No. But is there a good chance that these packs sell in the future between like $2 to $3? There might be. There might be a play for stuff like this. And one of the craziest things that you will discover Pokemon, people love graded packs. Doesn't matter what's graded. Could be graded Hidden Fates packs. Could be graded Cosmic Eclipse, Vivid Voltage, Darkness Ablaze, Shining Fates. It doesn't matter. People pay a premium for graded packs. There might be people in the future when pack grading prices get low enough, you'll start to see these things trickle onto the market and sell for stupid amounts of money, like $40 for a graded pack, which will be absolutely ridiculous. But right now, pick this thing up, 40 packs for $14.99. That puts you at like 40 cents a pack. Yeah, I'm holding on to this. I don't see much downside potential to this. Like it's a $15 product and you get 40 packs. I don't care that there's 3 cards in it. You don't believe me? Why don't you go look at like black and white sample packs that have 3 cards in it? Or, you know, like other sample, I guess these are comparable to, like I said, sample packs. But when you look at sample packs from the past, black and white sample packs sell for like $19.99. I don't think we'll ever see something like this per pack make it up to $19.99, but $2 to $3, sure, I could see that as being a possibility. So for me, this is definitely a hold, and that might actually surprise some of you guys. We got Dark Celebi from Hidden Legends, not a gold star set. This is the only dark card in the entire set. It is definitely an outlier for that. A lot of people like dark Pokemon. I personally am a big fan of Celebi, big fan of this artwork. So I'm buying this card. I think for what this card is, being a chase card in a set, extremely underrated. Yeah, it's a holo. It's not an EX card, but it's got the right Pokemon on it. It's got the dark part to it. It's the only one of the set. Yeah, for me, this is a buy. I like in this card. Shout out Cool Trainer Ryan out there. But we got the Meowth. Now, if you're looking at the screen right now, you might notice why is this Meowth a little different? Well, this is the Fruit Roll-Ups Meowth. Sticks out in everybody's collection like a sore thumb because it doesn't have, you know, like yellow borders. It has the gold border. It's all it is the Meowth artwork from Jungle. Even has the Jungle set on it, but this card was exclusive only to Fruit Roll-Ups. Probably a million of these sitting in little kids' binder. Well, I guess they're not little kids anymore, but million of these sitting in people's binders throughout the country. A lot of people probably don't even know the difference between this Meowth card or just the normal Jungle card. Or if they see this card, they might think it's just a fake card because it has that gold border and not yellow border. And probably going to be pretty hard to pick these cards up in, you know, really good, you know, gem mint, near mint, pristine quality condition. Probably going to be rare, very rare. But I'm buying this card. I like this card. I like what it's got going for it. You know, it's just got that little something different about it, right? It was the only Fruit Roll-Up card available. It's just super niche. Everyone should have one in their collection. This card, extremely cheap. Like, not an expensive card. So for me, I think this is a buy. I like this play. I don't mind it. Next, we got a 3-pack blister. We got a Dusknoir as the promo. We got 2 packs in there. We got 2 Diamond and Pearl Stormfront. Absolutely fantastic set. Stormfront has the secret rare Charmander, Charmeleon, Charizard, reimagined artwork from Arita, literally the base set artwork. They're secret rares. People love these things. I mean, it's got great level X cards in it. Obviously, my favorite level X card is in this set, which is the Raichu. And then the one sitting behind that is Diamond and Pearl Secret Wonders. Secret Wonders still has like Charizards in it. Still has some pretty awesome holos to it. All around, a lot of people say Diamond and Pearl is undervalued for what it is. And I actually agree. But now this is the thing. A product like this, I'm actually selling this product. Why? Because for a product like this, I don't see the premium that being in a 3-pack blister brings us. I understand it because I mentioned it early in the video when I was talking about like Team Aqua versus Team Magma, single pack blisters and everything in the artwork. This doesn't really do it for me, you know? I think if I was to go after like the sealed blister route, I would want the individual blisters for this. I wouldn't want the 3-packs. I don't like the fact that there's 2 different sets mixed up in it. Yeah, these are unweighed packs, but I'd rather just have these cards or have these packs individual. Get them from a trusted source. Hopefully they're not weighed. The premium that something like this goes for me personally, it's not worth it. I'm gonna sell this. This is something I'm selling right now in today's market. Mewtwo EX, Ruby Sapphire, great set. Ruby Sapphire, first ever Nintendo set. We talk about it all the time. Comes right after Skyridge. Amazing EX cards in it. Mewtwo being the chase of that. Yeah, you got still like the Chanseys in there and the Lapras is in there, but this Mewtwo shines above all others, right? So for this card, buying. This is a pretty easy buy for me. For what the market value is this card to what I value this card at, for me personally, this is a buy for me. Black and White, Plasma Storm, ETB. The first ever of all the ETBs. Something not a lot of people saw coming. There was a couple people out there had a few ETB collections. Nothing like we saw pick up in 2020, 2021, and 2022. Everybody is a ETB collector. Lugia, huge fan favorite Pokemon. A lot of people are big fans of the black and gold color combination for this. You know, it really, I mean, when you think about like a modern booster or modern ETB that really has a lot going for it, it's another fan favorite Pokemon, which is Charizard on the Champions Path ETB, has that same gold and black, you know, design to it. One of the reasons why, even though Champions Path is a pretty garbage set, like that ETB as a product is beautiful. And it's the same thing with this Plasma Storm. Now, what am I doing with this though? I'm holding it because I'm definitely not a buyer at this. The prices at these Plasma Storms ETBs are selling at right now for what it is, for me, way too much money. There is way too much built into these. But going back to what I said about like the Mergent Power Booster Box as a sealed product play, there will be people in the future from now until a long time from now who will be ETB collectors. And to be an ETB collector, there's not that many sets you really have to go after in relative to all Pokemon. Well, if you want to be a booster box collector, you got to buy a lot of booster boxes. And then it's going to start getting really expensive once you get to your more expensive booster boxes too. If you're talking, you're going to start picking up Deoxys or Skyridge or Aquapolis or Expedition or first edition base. Like, start getting into those booster boxes, gets really expensive. ETBs for a lot of people is probably while it's still a very expensive goal, it's still actually kind of attainable goal for way more people than obviously booster boxes. But for me, prices for this, way too much. I'm also not selling this because of what I just said. I think that there will be people moving into ETBs more and more in the future just because it's a more attainable goal. So I see prices never really retracing much from where they are right now. I know a lot of people who are going after the ETBs are probably hoping prices will retrace, but due to the rarity of these, that nobody held these as sealed product plays, I'm just holding on to it. Like, I don't see much downside risk to these as a whole. Next, one of my favorite sets. The gold stars in this set are very weak, but EX Delta species. I love the Ditto cards. I think they're great. You got Ditto Pikachu, you got the Ditto Bulbasaur, Ditto Mr. Mime, Ditto Geodude, Squirtle, Charmander, all around fantastic artworks. Super cheap right now. I mean, you could pick up an entire collection for almost nothing in comparison to seal pack prices. When you look at these cards graded, getting decent amounts, especially when you start to look at these cards in the reverse holo form, what they fetch in both raw and graded prices. I think they're still relatively undervalued when it comes to the raw ones. So for these, I think this is a pretty easy one. It's a buy for me. Buy all day. Next, we got one of my favorite sets, Crystal Guardians. We got Blastoids. Crystal Guardians, again, gold star set. And then even for these more Delta species type holos, yeah, you have the Blastoids, but the Charizard in the set always outshines this Blastoids. For what this Blastoids is, fan favorite Pokemon, Gen 1, stage 3 starter, Blastoids. A lot of people are water Pokemon fans. For what this card is, all the cards that surround it, like I said, the gold stars and the Charizard Delta species. And I mean, even the holos in this set are beautiful. This card, for me, it's a buy. This card is just easily slept on, right? Like, there's just so much going on in that set that people are just not looking at this set or at this card in particular from this set. So for me, this is a buy. Here we go. More hype of future modern Pokemon. Charizard UPC. Is this a buy? Is this a sell or a hold for me? So obviously, we've already seen like the artworks for this set come out. You have 3 amazing, absolutely amazing alternative artworks. If we don't know if we're ever going to see those artworks in other products. Probably more likely than not, we never will. They will probably be exclusive to this Charizard UPC from now until forever. But for a product like this, even with all that going for it, I'm selling it. You know why? Because for a product like this, I'm picking up as many as I can at MSRP. Target today just had their pre-order. They had a quality or order limit of 3, sold out instantly. Was only up on the website for like 2 minutes. You had to keep adding it to your cart. It was absolutely brutal for so many people out there. This is going to be a product that there will be a lot of them out there. There will be. And a lot of the gains for a product like this will be right at release. Something like this could settle out in the future at like $300, maybe, but probably more likely at release, you're going to see it selling between 180 to 200. And then there is always going to be the thought of reprints for a product like this, or second waves or third waves of products like this. This, for the near term, could be a very high risk play with knowing how much gains you already have in this. Meaning, if you buy this at 120, you're going to have gains in this instantly. Like, if you could pick this up at Walmart and walk out the front door, you're already going to have made money. 100%. Now, the question is, after you walk out the door and all the gains that are in that product, where I'm questioning is, where's the future? Where's the top to a product like that? How much more room does it have to go? So for me, I'm buying this product at MSRP, and then I am selling this product because of all the uncertainties that comes along with this. Will there probably be one Charizard UPC in my PC? Yes, of course. There will always be one in my PC. But every other one I could get my hands on, I will take the gains when they're there, because I think it will be very easy plays. And product like this, for me, picking up at MSRP, there is little to no downside risk in this. This is never a product, in my opinion, that ever sells sub 120. Sorry. If you are out there and you think that this thing could get printed to the point where it sells for sub 120, like, sorry, it's not going to happen. So for me, because of those realized gains I could get so quickly, this is a sell for me, and a very uncertain future of how much of this will be out there. This is a beautiful card next, huh? We got the Mew EX from Black and White Dragon Exalted. Dragon Exalted has become a very expensive set. And for a lot of people, when they look at Black and White, I think a lot of people look at Dragons Exalted as being one of the better sets of all Black and White. Like, and this card, this Mew EX, is one of those cards. So with that said, for me, that's an easy one. This is a buy. Black and White doesn't come up very often. Mew, huge fan favorite Pokemon. For me, for what this card's selling for right now, opposed to the single pack prices of like Dragons Exalted, this is a buy. All day, every day. So we got Modern Full Art Venusaur EX from XY Base. XY Base doesn't have much going on for it at all. It's got the Blastoids and it's got this card right here, the Venusaur EX. And sure, it's got some other stuff, but for the most part, like when people talk about XY, this is kind of what you have to talk about. And this card is pretty lackluster. And it doesn't really have much going for it. And I don't think the artwork for a card like this is anything to write home about. The only thing it's got going for it is it's a Gen 1 starter. Stage 3, Venusaur. You have a lot of your Bulbasaur, Ivysaur, Venusaur fans. But even with all that said, this card for me, I think it's a hold. And the reason why it's a hold is because when we look at what XY packs sell for, XY booster boxes sell for, XY or tins that have XY base in it, people love them some XY base. And I think it's just going to take a little bit of time for people to really appreciate these cards for what they were and what they are. And I think they're extremely undervalued right now. But I don't think they're so undervalued that I need to just go up and buy every single one of them that exists. So for a card like this, I think it has a future for it. So this is just a hold for me. This is a card that I think has stuff going for it, but it's not something I'm just going to dump a ton of money into it. And the market is definitely undervaluing this card for what it is. So I'm definitely not selling this card either. There it is. This is a beautiful card. We talked about Black and White base earlier. We talked about the Reshiram and the Zekrom. And there's only one secret rare in this set that sticks out above all others. So when you talk about Black and White, when you talk about Black and White base in particular, when you talk about a fan favorite Pokemon, when you talk about the words that people love to hear the words secret rare. Secret rare. I mean, think about what this has going for it. Secret rare, Pikachu, Black and White base. Do I have to say any more? For me, this is a buy. What this card is selling, this card as the secret rare of the set is cheaper than the pack price. Anytime your secret rare is cheaper than your pack price, probably a good buy. And it's not like some of like, you know, your SH secret rares from some sets. Like this is a Pikachu. For me, simple. Buying this card all day. So I actually didn't realize it at first, but I pulled the Japanese card for this and not the English version. But for this card, I'm probably going to talk about the English version. But it's the Lugia Legends card from Heart Gold Soul Silver base. This is a beautiful card. This card has Lugia going underwater. It's a 2-part card if you guys don't know what legend cards are. So you have like a top half and a bottom half of this card. If you look at his bottom foot, you can see his bottom foot while it's in the water and you can see the bubbles around it. His foot's also like breaking through the text of the card. And the way that Pokemon was able to display this with his foot actually breaking the physical text, and you can see like on the side of the card where all the text is, everything is all like jumbled together as if, we talk about like things like gold star cards. And one of the things people really liked about gold star cards was gold star cards were the first cards to ever like bust out of the border of the card. This is doing that. It's busting out the border of the card, and they even give the border of the card. You can see that gold border. When you talk about this card busting out the border, it busts out of the border at a whole nother level. Lugia, great card. Now, this is the thing. Is this a buy? Is this a hold or a sell? I'll tell you, this card is definitely not a sell. But now, is it a buy or a hold? And why is that? This card actually is a buy. It's not a hold because I don't think that the market is properly valuing this card. I think the market is extremely undervaluing cards like this. So for me, this is an easy one. This is a buy all day. This was a buy today, last year, 5 years ago, 10 years ago. Now, it's going to continue being a buy for me until the market starts to appreciate this card for what it really is. Freaking awesome artwork. Next, Skyridge single pack blisters. Good luck finding these things, but there's a lot of value built in to Skyridge packs for what they are. PokeRev, I know he has a box break going on Tuesday. He's selling individual packs for like $1,500. I'm sure he's going to sell out. Single pack blisters for a set like this probably cannot be weighed. Extremely rare. Not a lot of people are sitting on these. This is a sealed product play through and through. This is not a product where you're going to buy the single pack blister and then with the mindset that you're going to open it in the future. But for me, this is just a hold. I'm not selling this card, even though I feel like you could get an extreme value for this because, for the blister price opposed to the raw price. I'm not buying this because it's way too expensive for what it is. But this is like a hold for me. I don't see prices for this retracing so much that you're going to like be absolutely over your head in a product like this. I think it would just, there will be people out there wanting these from now until forever. Because they really are just that rare. And there are a lot of different type of sealed product collectors out there. Just like I talked about booster boxes, talking about emergent powers, just like I talked about ETBs with, the Plasma Storm with the Lugia artwork. It's the same thing with blisters. There's going to be different people doing different collection goals, and blisters probably for a lot of people is going to be a financially attainable goal for them if they want to keep going. Like maybe they can't afford booster boxes and ETBs are too easy, then they start going after blisters. So for me, this is just a hold. So next is black and white theme deck. Now, if you look at the theme deck that's shown on the screen, this theme deck is special. Why? Because it has a gold strip. If you don't know what the gold strip is, if you see right through, got to catch them all, that gold strip, that pull tab that's on these theme decks, what that does on something like this is it guarantees that this is Shadowless. Now, Shadowless cards, extremely collectible. Some people talk about how rare Shadowless are or are not, depending on what part of the country you grew up on. It's a lot of different conversations people have. Like, some first edition cards were actually much less rare on like the West Coast. Shadowless cards were actually much less rare on the East Coast, and then what's in between in the middle and all this stuff. And everybody wants to have these conversations. But a product like this, you're going to have the Hitmonchan Shadowless card. You're going to have like Squirtle cards in it. You're going to have some decent heavy hitters. But for me, I'm actually selling this because I think the market overvalues these for what they are. Yeah, it's going to have some probably near mint Shadowless cards. But, looking at what you can pick up, like truly near mint copies of a lot of these cards, especially in the raw form, I don't love this as a sealed product play. Like, I get it. I understand why people like it. I understand why people like Shadowless. I like Shadowless. But I just think that these in particular, opposed to just the regular blackout theme decks, and if you want to go one step further down the rabbit hole and you start to really look at the back artwork. You see what cards are displayed on the back. Does it say 10 damage counters? Does it only say damage counters? You know, which variant of some of the non-gold strip ones do you have? Do you still have a shot at Shadowless, stuff like this? For me, particular, I just think gold strips theme decks are just a little overvalued. And one of the things that Blackout doesn't have going for it is, at least with the Zap theme decks, you have the possibility of, you know, pulling Ghost Stamp Pikachus. And for like the Brushfire decks, at least you have the shot at no damage Ninetales. Blackout, you kind of know what you're going to get. So for me, I'm just going to sell this one. So here we go. We got the first ever Nintendo EX tin, and I think the first ever tin in general. There's the Pikachu Black Star promo inside it, and there's also the Meowth Black Star promo in it. It's got like Ruby Sapphire packs in, I think Sandstorm, and maybe like one EX Dragon pack or something like that. I know there's no WotC packs in it. It's a Nintendo product, so I think it's like the first 3 sets of Nintendo. So you got Ruby Sapphire was first set, Sandstorm was your second set, and then EX Dragon was your third set. So I think those are the packs that are in it. But for me, I think this is still a buy. I think for how rare something like this is, 2 good promos in it, 4 good packs, I think this is a buy. Like, I don't see something like this retracing much at all. And I think that sealed products like this that are very niche, very rare, I think just have decent growth potential to them in the future. That's my opinion on a product like this. And then that leads us to the final card of the night. And you knew this card was coming. This is one of the most famous cards that this channel has made. This is the one and only Ponychu. Shout out Basic Trainer. And now for this one, I'm not going to actually tell you if I'm going to buy this card. Am I going to sell this card, or am I going to hold this card? For you, what I want you to do is let me know down either in the live chat right now, or let me know down in the comments after this video if you've actually somehow made it to the end of this video. Is this card for you a buy, or is this card a sell, or is this a hold? And keep in mind, this is a 1 of 1 that has now been chilled to the absolute moon. But no, I'm not going to tell you guys what I would do with this card. But I'm interested to definitely hear from you guys what you guys think. But yeah, guys, that's it. I hope you guys had fun with this. It was something different I tried. Just gonna pull the chat real quick. I'm very interested in that when these chats get back. I want to see what you guys put for some of the cards. What are you buying? What are you selling? What are you holding? I'm hoping that not all our answers lined up. I hope all you guys have different thoughts in your mind. I'm hoping you guys are each figuring out like what makes sense to you. I let you know a little bit of my thought process. This was just a handful of cards, you know, throughout a couple various sets. It took me like 45 minutes to put this PowerPoint slide together. Just do it real quick. Yeah, guys, just again, like I said at the beginning of this video, this is going to be a short video. Let me know down below in the comments below, is that Ponychu a buy, a sell, or a hold for you guys? But for everybody for watching, I appreciate all you guys. Appreciate you tuning in.